don't usually do this, but right at the start, I'm just going to ask you guys to like and subscribe because my mom's kind of homeless and my club can't stop getting red cards. I mean, if you get that reference, you get that reference. But Chelsea just lost to Fulham 2-1. And what more can I say? Another red card. At this point, it's just embarrassing. Like, it's not even fun. Like, do you want to watch your team with 10 men multiple times a season? I think we're up to 7 times this season. It's just not fun to watch. We're getting slapped around by Fulham. Harry Wilson's looking like Cole Palmer. What's going on? This is genuinely getting embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. 2-1 loss. Cucurella red card. Another one for that outdated DJ Khaled reference. They got me out here begging for subscriptions. Like, this is what Chelsea have reduced me to. This is what Chelsea have reduced me to. But let's get into it. This game, let's start with the lineups because starting off, I'm seeing this lineup. Palmer on the right with Gusto behind him. This is something I've been asking for. We had Caicedo and Santos in the middle. Okay, fair enough. Fernandez in the 10. Neto on the left, which is something I've been trying to see. Delap up top. We'll talk about him. Cucurella on the left, which, you know, one of our better players. Sanchez back in goal. When I saw this pairing, Tosin and Chalobah, not going to lie, I thought it was over. That is like doomsday pairing for Chelsea. To be fair to them, they weren't as bad as they have been together in this game. I'll just put it like that. I'm not going to say they were amazing, but they were a little more formidable than usual. But there's one thing I have to admit right off the top, because I'm an honest guy. You know, I come in here and I criticize the coaching sometimes, and I came out with a video talking about my ideal starting 11 for Chelsea. And that starting 11 did include Pedro Neto being on the left. Well, if I'm being honest, I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought I saw something last year when we still had Madueke, and they would do some rotations. And I used to see Neto on the left in glimpses, and he would drive down the line and put a ball in across. But Neto in this game, what the hell did I just witness? This guy keeps cutting in onto his weaker right foot and then still trying to dribble with his left foot, which just forces him to go laterally across the field. It completely kills all momentum. It kills the play. He doesn't do anything with it. He even had a chance. He missed. Just, I don't know what's going on. I guess he just has to play on the right. I get why Maresca was always playing him on the right, but here's the issue. Palmer out there. Esteval out there. We're bringing in Quenda, apparently, who's going to play out there. There's no room for you on the right in the future of this club. I'm not going to lie to you. So either you figure out how to drive down that line again and play the ball across, or you're gone, because what's going on right now? For some reason, when he's on the right, he can drive. He does like a little step over, boom. He gets past his player, and he plays the ball in on his right. But for some reason, he can't do that on his stronger foot on the left. He wants to cut back and stuff. I don't get it. I don't understand why he's playing the exact same way on both sides. Well, not even the exact same way. He's playing to the strengths of his weak foot on the right side, but he's playing to the weakness of his weak foot on the left side. It just doesn't make sense to me. But either way, that's Pedro Neto. I'm not even trying to speak about this guy again. Enzo Fernandez, his passes are just all over the place today. He was not on point with his passing. For him, it's really hit or miss. Either he's going to be pinpoint passing or he's going to be all over the place. There's no in between with Enzo. Gusto's an interesting one. We get to see him on the right, kind of pushing up, overlapping. He was really holding the width as like a winger in this formation because Palmer was kind of coming inside, which is where I want to see Gusto. But something I noticed about Gusto, I don't know if other people notice this. I don't know how many people talk about this. Gusto spams flare in every movement he does. I got my controller right here. Gusto literally just he's holding on to L2, LT if you play on Xbox, which I actually prefer that controller. Gusto is spamming that. He's like he has it taped down when he plays. He always has to do a little flick, a little back heel, a little one touch no look. So I don't know why he's so obsessed with that. I mean, it comes off sometimes, but he can just keep it simple sometimes. I don't know what's up with Gusto, but Maresca's gotten in his head that he really has to be doing this flare stuff because he's now an attacker or something. That's really bothering me too. What else? Let's just get into the first half. It's just depressing to even talk about. Harry Wilson goes through on a long play from Bernd Leno. He plays it over the top to Wilson, just going through off of our set piece, and Cucurella ends up bringing him down. I mean, it is a goal scoring opportunity. It's a red card, but we were just caught out lacking. And Harry Wilson, I got to give it to him. This guy, he's in form for one, but he just looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. He's making something happen, and to be fair, that was a red card. I think it was the right call on it being a free kick and not a pen. But even before that, I would say we were unlucky not to be up early in this game before that red card. Fulham had their chances, to be fair to them, but on those set pieces, our corners, we had one come off the crossbar. We had one where Leno barely was able to punch it out. This new corner technique that we've been doing, I've been seeing it with both Enzo and Reece James, where we're kind of placing it right on the crossbar kind of area or near posts or far post. We're placing it right in a really awkward spot. We're just hoping something happens where it goes in. It's low-key kind of working. Like we saw João Pedro scored off of one of those recently with the ball just hit off of him. It's low-key kind of working, but we were just unlucky. When you go with something like that, which is like kind of luck-based, something like today happens where we got unlucky and we weren't able to actually capitalize on it, and then they go through. Cucurella goes down, or goes out, I should say. And then the referee just starts spamming yellow cards on our head top. Bam! Enzo Fernandez, you're yapping too much. You got one. Bam! Tosin, see you later. You got one. Bam! Cole Palmer on your head top too. He's handing out yellow cards like Oprah, and he said, "Hold up, Marco Silva, you can hold one too." Just the referee was going crazy. I guess we were arguing for a while there. We were kind of yapping, but he was just spamming yellow cards, and I'm honestly impressed that we didn't end up making any of those yellows reds. I really thought that was going to happen. But bring on Hato for Santos just to solidify defensively. And they almost went and scored before halftime, which to me, that would have been devastating. I mean, obviously we ended up losing the game anyway, so what does it matter? But at that point in time, I was like, we just need to see it out till halftime. And they almost scored. Harry Wilson, great finish, but it ended up being offsides because Jimenez was coming back onside for the pass before the goal. So we got lucky there. We got away with one. And we're going to the second half. They bring on Kevin because they're like, oh, we're just going to go for it. And they needed to go for it. And finally, Sander Berge with a nice cross. Raul Jimenez, bang, header. To be fair, Sanchez does get a hand to it. And for me, it's like once you get a hand to it, you gotta do a little bit better. But that's harsh. That's honestly me being harsh. It was a solid, strong header. He isn't able to keep it out. 1-0 Fulham. At that point, I'm like, the ceiling. I mean, even when we went down to 10 men, it automatically feels like the ceiling is a draw. But really, we should be losing. But once we bring on Reece James, 10 minutes later, I'm like, hold up. Now we might start cooking. Reece James, it's not a coincidence that Reece James comes on in the 65th minute and we score in the 72nd minute. Reece James starts dictating the play. And I don't know when we're going to start having this conversation, because I know a lot of debate has been had about Reece James and Jurriën Timber, who's the best right back in the Premier League. I mean, for me, when he plays out there, it's Reece James. But Timber, I respect Timber. I think that's a good debate. If people then say Reece James has been playing so much midfield this season, it's hard to really debate him at right back, so they're going to give it to Timber. Which, okay, if you want to say that, that's fair enough. But for me, we got to start having the conversation now. We're not going to start just discrediting Reece James for being versatile enough to play in both positions. We got to start having the conversation that Reece James has been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this entire season. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. You want to say he's not playing enough right back? Fair. And I actually prefer him in midfield because it helps him stay fit instead of bombing up and down the right side. That's not what I want him doing for his own fitness. But when he plays in the midfield, this guy is a monster, dictating play, defensively shoring things up because that's still his bag. His passing range is unbelievable, and going forward, he's probably a better shooter than either Enzo or Caicedo, both of them probably. Set piece delivery, like I'm not gonna lie, if Reece James committed himself to midfield, which I'm not saying he should because we're still gonna have games where we need him out at right back, but if he committed himself to midfield, James and Caicedo is a pairing. That is a pairing I don't think any team wants to come up against. Enzo and Caicedo honestly doesn't scare other teams. Let's just be real. Doesn't matter what the price tag was. Enzo in that pivot isn't scary. But Reece James and Caicedo, all of a sudden, we don't need Lavia to come back, which we've been begging this dude to come back for about, I don't know, 6 months. He just comes back for the big games. He's like, Liverpool, okay, I'm there. And then he's gone again. Lavia, I see the potential, but is it even worth having him on the books if he's gone after one game at a time? I don't know. That's something we got to talk about. But I just want to have that conversation because Reece James has been going crazy. Then moving on, they make some substitutions, which, fair enough. They wanted to freshen up after we score. And this is where I think, honestly, we lost the game. Now, Cole Palmer, if you look at like the lineups or whatever, the ratings, he has a 6 and he had a yellow. Okay, fair enough. You want to say he wasn't good. But I think right before Cole Palmer goes off, he started cooking. He really started cooking. He had that one play where he's on the right, he beats his man, he gets a shot off with his weak foot, and it's a good save from Leno. But that's where you see that's Palmer's bag when he's able to isolate someone, and he's not even that quick, but he just does those quick isolation movements that's able to get someone kind of a little Salah-esque in that sense, but when he's on the right at least. And then he had a nice other play when he's closer, he's deeper into their half, but he gets the ball and he sees, I think, Gusto running through, or is it Neto? Someone's running through on the right, and he plays a beautiful ball over the top, curled, and it creates another chance. And I feel like he was really starting to get into the game at that point, and then we take him off. I guess it's maybe still a fitness thing. We also take Gusto off, but Gusto was starting to get involved in the attack as well. He had a nice little connection near their box as well. So I feel like those substitutions, I get it. We finally got 1-1. We want to shore up Achampong for Gusto. That kind of shores up the defense, you would think. And Ja Pedro for Cole Palmer, maybe a fitness thing. But I felt like that kind of, threw away the game in terms of we kind of lost all attacking impetus at that point. That was just my opinion. And of course, Harry Wilson just does what he does at this point. The reason why I added him to my fantasy recently, and I'm not even happy, but at least I got something out of this game. Harry Wilson plays a beautiful ball through to, I think it was Emil Smith Rowe. There's a shot, I think, comes back. He gets the rebound, takes the first touch with his left, puts it on his right, kind of a half volley, bang, takes his deflection, but still, it's a beautiful play from him, and he secures the game for Fulham, and we're cooked. That's that 2-1. So I didn't even notice this. McFarlane got a yellow at the end of the game. That's actually funny because we just can't stop getting cards. But that was that. Really disappointing. We had more expected goals, less shots, obviously. We had more big chances. I still don't really know how to calculate the stat because that was something similar in a recent game. But I'm assuming some of these expected goals are from probably the Neto chance and some of those corners where we're knocking on the door. But if you want to check out the table, it just moved on us. I don't know what's going on here. I think the United game is still going right now. But check out the table. United are about to go ahead of us, or maybe they just did. Let's see. Oh, they're the 76th minute. They're drawing to Burnley right now, which is crazy. I mean, United is United, but I can't even talk. They're about to go ahead of us because we are just shambolic. Arsenal is so clear. City and Villa on 43. They are now 12 points clear of us. I mean, what has happened? Somehow, we're still in this area Brentford being 5th is crazy. I mean, shout out Keith Andrews. No one expected that. Liverpool play tomorrow against Arsenal. I'm honestly expecting them to lose, so that will probably keep us in this top 4 hunt. And we'll see what happens with this United result. Newcastle right there with Leeds as well. It's looking spooky. I'm not gonna lie, and it's unfortunate because Liam Rosenior is coming in at this time, and it's a really tumultuous time. Luckily for him, there's no Prem games for a while. We go to Charlton for our next game in the FA Cup. Then we go to the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. That's a big game, but then we have a Premier League game on the 17th against Brentford. That's a little local game. I talked about this last video, but that's a it's not the easiest run. Obviously, nothing's easy for us right now. But I think Charlton, we need to get some momentum there, and then we see what we can do against Arsenal. We need a little new manager bounce there. But he's coming in at a tough time. Good luck to him. Like I said in my last video, check that out if you haven't seen it already. And Chelsea, it's looking spooky. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking spooky right now. But appreciate you guys for watching, especially if you made it this far. Like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. I know I said at the top of the video. I don't usually, but I'm glad I was able to get that off this time. And I'll see you guys for the Charlton game probably. I mean, I'll definitely do a video for that game, depending on how eventful it is. I want to see what Liam Rosenior is cooking up. But I think I want to do a little fun video before then, probably ranking Chelsea players this season so far. I think I want to do that video just to, get my thoughts out on how we've been performing from a player perspective. Because now going under a new manager, it's up to the players to deliver on what he's cooking. So thanks again. See you guys later. Peace.